Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Good evening and welcome to the miNEStry. I am Archbishop Dracul, and alongside me is Father Avram. Our creed is to inspire our parishioners through reflections of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Tonight we are reflecting on Monster Party, a quirky side-scrolling platformer that was developed by Human Entertainment, published by Bandai, and released in North America in June of 1989. Human Entertainment released some exciting games on the NES, such as Baseball Stars, Kabuki Quantum Fighter, and Pro Wrestling. And not so exciting games such as The Adventures of Gilligan's Island and Dance Aerobics. They also created the phenomenon known as stadium events. Our returning Deacon, who's probably licking his chops right now, is Jeff Gabor.
Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to talk about this one.
So anything new going on in your life, Jeff Gabor?
Actually, funny enough, so we're all like lovers of the Nintendo Entertainment System. I've been collecting games for a long time, and this weekend I happened to secure my holy grail, Little Samson. So not only did I secure this game, I got it for like $100 in a raffle.
Son of a bitch.
People were so kind. So what I did is I maxed out as many raffle tickets as I could get, which is only 5. But then I was able to reach out to some friends. I was like, man, if you're not participating, would you mind, me purchasing extra tickets in your name? And if you win, then maybe you would toss the game to me. And so I bought just a couple more, and that wheel spun with a ton of people's names on it, and it ended up landing on the other person's name, not mine. And to their word, they were kind enough to give me the Little Samson cart. And I'm so floored.
You didn't break it in half and give them half of it?
Yeah. Honestly, man, I am so in debt to that, because when you think about it, like they were completely within their right to own it. And even if they don't want it, they could sell it. Like I was saying, like it was on sale at the similar convention that I was at, and they were asking for $3,000 and $3,300 for these copies of Little Samson. And here it is, a raffle for $100. It's amazing. It's amazing. It made my year. Like,
did they know what they had?
Oh, they know what they had. Well, it was funny. I was talking to the guy that actually owned the cart that was giving it for a raffle, and the reason why he didn't feel so bad is because he had 3 copies of Little Samson. And he said he secured all 3 of those for less than $25.
What?
My God!
He said it's just a garage sales and going into various places, and he's been collecting for so many decades that he just happened to have 3 of them that never cost him anything. So he's like, it's no skin off his back to lose it. It's like, wow. Oh my God! He also just sold a stadium events too, so he did at one point have the entire collection.
Wow. And stadium events is super expensive.
Yep, you're going for tens of thousands of dollars for that.
I wonder what it is on price chart.
Ooh, yeah. Well, Human Entertainment was responsible for the stadium events, and they actually made the follow-up after the whole controversy of Nintendo pulling it from the shelves. They made the follow-up, which was Super Team Games.
So get this on pricecharting.com. Loose cart for stadium events, for family fun fitness stadium events. $18,342.86.
Oof.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I so badly want to know what he sold that for. Because in his words, he said he sold it for so much more than it was worth that he's now looking to use that money to buy another stadium events
Oh
and
my
actually turn a
God.
profit.
I wonder if he got into like a bid war situation.
Something, yeah.
That's crazy.
Because Nintendo pulled them all down off the shelves. All of the stadium events were, however few, I think there were. That's why it's so.
Did either you, Father Avram or Archbishop Dracul, did you play the actually Super Team games ever?
Never
I
did.
haven't. No.
I was one of the sad kids that owned that game. Oof,
Wow.
That is a hard power pad game because it's all these different events and they all use the power pad in a different way. There's like a crab crawl. There's like blowing up bubbles, and it's like sometimes you're like doing a diagonal thing. Sometimes you're like at the front, and then you got to be at the back of the pad, and then you got to have two people on one side. It's a mess of a game.
I didn't even have a power pad.
No, I didn't have a power pad either until years later.
That's too bad. You missed out on a lot of memories of doing the world-class track meet and going against horse and rabbit and
going against whores.
Get your mind out of the gutter. No, horse.
I feel like my father was like, "You don't need that shit."
All right, so we've gotten way off topic. We would like to announce a new email address to communicate with us. Contact us through archbishopdracul@gmail.com, should you like, and we'll reply to you during the podcast.
And we'd love to hear your feedback, your shit posting, and everything else.
That's ARCHBISHOPDRACULA@gmail.com.
There's no A.
Oh, not Dracula. No, yeah. Why did I say? I just turned you into Dracula.
You just messed up our email address, Archbishop Dracula.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's a different person entirely.
Go ahead and do that again.
That's ARCHBISHOPDRACUL@gmail.com.
Thank you, Mr. Gabor.
A testament to the creators, Hiroshi Haruna, Yuichi Kobayashi, and Ryoichi Nakashima, game designers. They were also all involved in Michael Andretti's World GP in 1988 for the NES, Kabuki Quantum Fighter in 1990 for the NES, and The Adventures of Gilligan's Island in 1990 for the NES.
Yeah, this section is going to be kind of boring, just to warn you, because usually there's all these different games that are listed, but I could not find many NES games that they all worked on.
Huh. Well, I mean, we reviewed Kabuki Quantum Fighter here in the miNEStry, and we had a lengthy discussion about Gilligan's Island in that episode as well, which was kind of entertaining, which we won't regurgitate here, but give that a listen.
Yes, proceed, Father Avram.
Okay. Here we go. Hiroshi Haruna, Toru Hayashi, and Desiree Taro. They were the programmers. They also worked on The Adventures of Gilligan's Island in 1990 for the NES, Kabuki Quantum Fighter in 1990 for the NES, and Egypt in 1991 for the Famicom. I don't follow the Famicom much. I've never heard of Egypt.
I haven't either. I think it's a puzzle game. But proceed, Father Avram.
Okay. Ryoichi Nakashima, Yuichi Kobayashi, and Takahide Saito. All worked on graphics. I think that Ryoichi is double role here as a game designer and on the graphics team. But they all worked also on The Adventures of Gilligan's Island in 1990.
Yep. Proceed, Father Avram.
For music, we have T. Mikumo and Masaki Hashimoto. They also worked on Michael Andretti's World GP in 1988 for the NES. Kabuki Quantum Fighter in 1990 for the NES. And The Adventures of Gilligan's Island in 1990 for the NES.
All right. We did find one advertisement for Bandai, and it says "excellent" in big bold words, and it has the title screens or the cover art for Pebble Beach Golf, Monster Party, Shooting Range, the infamous Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dig Dug 2, and Street Cop.
It's pretty bold putting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde under the banner of excellent.
Yeah, I do like Dig Dug 2, though. That game's nice.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, Dig Dug 2 is great. I would say that's excellent.
Yep.
I think I played like Pebble Beach Golf once. I don't remember, though, much about it. And the other two I haven't played.
Yep.
My friend had Pebble Beach Golf, and I borrowed it all the time, and I don't remember it, so it mustn't have been that good. Let us discuss the 7 categories for which we execute judgment on Monster Party. Category 1 is the narrative.
A reading from the manual. There's no fucking story in the manual, so we'll read it from the back of the box instead. This is a reading from the manual.
Praise be Bandai.
No, actually, I'd just like to note here that really, I think the story really unfolds throughout the game. Really, you know, because they have cutscenes. There's some dialogue, right? Like, so it's mostly in the beginning, but there's some at the end too. But yeah, nothing actually officially written. So we'll read what we have later.
Fair enough.
My thoughts on the story is from what I saw on the back of the box, and from the intro to the game itself, was that it's pretty cool. Very, very reminiscent of a Steinax.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come to my world, help us. You know. Hey, it's better than going to school.
No, but Steinax, like, I don't know. Somehow that felt like a fantasy world that's somewhat believable. It's like in Last Starfighter, it's like some kids pulled into this world to become a fighter. This is super weird.
Yeah, this is like...
You're some random kid and a demon gargoyle flying bat thing named Bert comes and asks you for a favor, and you're terrified, but somehow you still end up going. It's so bizarre the way that the dialogue folds out. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it feels forced, honestly.
Yeah.
It's definitely like, hey, we're going to write this story. We have this really cool concept for a game. Okay, cool. What is it going to be about? I don't know. Let's just write something. Like, that's the way it feels,
Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to pay attention to it anyway, kind of feeling.
There's not a whole lot of exposition on how things happen. It's just all of a sudden they talk about how Bert and Mark merge together and become one fighting force. I guess when you break down
sort of
Mario
like Ben and
Brothers,
Jerry, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess a lot of these games back then, I was going to say like with mushrooms and Mushroom Kingdom and all that, super bizarre too. But yeah, this one definitely.
Well, hey, in the game itself, you have to take drugs in order to turn back into that merged beast.
What is with that? What's with the pills?
Yeah, you have to take pills.
This is like the Matrix, red pill.
This isn't a joke.
Yeah. It's like the literally the sprite image to turn into the demon version is a pill, like Dr. Mario pill.
Well, listen, guys, in the 80s, in the sorry, this is what, 1990?
89.
This is 89. So close enough anyway. But, kids be experimenting and, walking to school and, instead of going to school, they just become a monster fighting superhero that merges with a gargoyle named Bert.
Yeah, very believable. I don't know. Yeah, the narrative is odd at best.
I wish they would have named Mark Ernie.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was the last boss. I'm kidding. I don't know.
No, because then it's Ernie and Bert, and they merge together and make Super Bernie.
Sanders? No, I'm kidding. That's what it is. It must be the youth story of Bernie Sanders. Anyway, I think it's definitely forced. It's just I really don't think they went into this thinking that people were going to care about the story.
No, but even the concept of like bringing in a child from another world to help save your world, and the best you can come up with is this kid has a baseball bat, and that seems to be the weapon to save his world.
Yeah, I mean, in 1989, what kid wants to conquer monsters with a baseball bat? I mean, it seems, I guess, more realistic, closer to their heart, but like you're talking about. I think actually Christopher Hopper mentioned this before, and it's either our last episode or the last time that we had him on before that. But this is the era of like G.I. Joe, like you don't want a baseball bat. It's like the Goonies. It's like the Goonies 2 with the yo-yo.
Yep.
Right. Like the same feeling here.
And may I say the baseball bat is way too short.
Yeah, which we'll get into with gameplay, but I agree.
All right. Anything else with the story?
Nah. Unless you want to wait, did you guys talk about? You want to talk about the ending, the story of the ending?
Go ahead.
Actually, please enlighten us.
Holy crap! The ending goes way off the rails. You end up saving the day, and then Bert turns on you.
What?
He gives you a like a treasure chest to take home. You take it home. You open it in your room, and a princess comes out. And she's, I don't know why, it's a teeny tiny box, but a giant princess comes out.
Well, a giant princess? Like how?
A princess.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And then you start to stare at her, and she starts to like transfigure and like get all gross, and she turns into basically a zombie, and she then turns you into a zombie, and your face melts. And it is graphic. You got to look this up.
No way. I missed that.
So then, like, your face is melting off, and you like see your skull and all that, and then you suddenly wake up, and you're like, it was all a dream, and you're like, okay. So then you get on your way, and you're gonna head to school, but when you open the door, guess who's there? Bert, and he says, "Let's go on another adventure." That's how the game ends. I swear to God.
Okay, so
weird.
he's obviously playing on the kid's hormones.
Oh, man.
So between the drugs, so what you're really saying here, right, is based on the gimmick of the monsters and stuff like that. So really, this is the game of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that is one of the enemies, right?
Yeah.
It's literally like bad rock and roll guitar man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, interesting. Very
to put
interesting
to put it in a fine like detail in summation. This story is all over the map.
Yeah. There's no coherency at all.
No, they just threw the kitchen sink at it.
It's almost like they had a deck of story cards and they're like, okay, what are we going to do next? Flip the next card.
Yeah, that is what it feels like.
I mean, if you, in their defense, you got to think they developed probably not even realizing the very first boss rush game. And
yeah. Well,
they probably had no idea how to make a story around that.
I feel like it was so close, though. Like, they could have adopted any of the tropes of the day. Like, any of the story tropes of the day. Like, whether it's saving a universe and giving the happy ending. There's, like, or saving the... Even if it was, like, something like saving the demon princess, right? Yeah. Or, like, they could have adopted any trope.
Let me instead, just humor me, and let me read the actual ending.
Yeah, okay. Please go for it.
All right, so it goes to a cutscene.
Wait, hold on.
You're looking. Yeah.
Hold on. A reading from the cutscenes.
Yes. Okay. Imagine, if you will, you're seeing Bert, this like bird-winged demon, and he's handing like a miniature chest that's like maybe the size of the kid's head. And it says, Mark destroyed the monsters. Bert gave him a gift. And Mark went home. He excitedly opened the box. A beautiful princess came out. But suddenly, the princess became a monster, and more monsters followed her. And then her face melts in the graphic. Mark was scared and screamed. Ah! That's what he's... says. And then it cuts to like what really does look like a picture of Ernie waking up in his bed, and it says, Mark was awakened by his mom. You'll be late. It was a dream. I'm leaving. Mark opened the door. Bert was there. He whispered to Mark, let's go again. Okay. And then the image like goes to black and white, and it starts listing the names of the creators.
A reading from the cutscenes. Praise be Bandai.
Allow me, if you will, to offer an alternative narrative based on everything that we have discussed. So, Bert is the demon. Mark is the boy, right? So Mark is he has this imaginary friend he goes to school with every day, or he comes across, he meets this imaginary friend, right? And this imaginary friend actually is not so imaginary, but rather like the bad kid on the block. And he offers Mark some pills.
Oh no.
And so he takes the pills because, Bert says it's going to bring him on an adventure. And boy...
I'll say, this game is a fucking acid trip.
And boy, does he go on an adventure. And, at first, the high is great. He feels like a fucking superhero. And as time goes on, the high gets worse and worse. It finally ends in a culmination of scary hallucinations where he's attacked by a hot woman turned demon. And then he wakes up, no Gatorade, no rehydration, no whatever. He's just groggy and he has to go to school or whatever. And he opens up the door and Bert's like, hey, let's take another trip, man.
Plausible.
It seems plausible, doesn't it?
Yeah. Man, where's Wally Bear and the No Gang? He needs some help.
No shit.
All right. Anyway, yeah,
all right.
I think we've stretched this narrative thing as far as we can take it at this point.
Dear Lord, yes.
Okay.
But I would like to say that as far as having no narrative is concerned, this may have been the largest narrative section ever discussed in the history of the ministry.
I know. Let us proceed to category 2, which is audio. For me, my favorite audio or my favorite music is the boss room.
Yeah.
I thought that it was really cool, really spooky. I also liked level 3. I thought level 3's music was rather fun. I really loved the sound effect of when your bat hit something. It was really satisfying. But I do wish they used the DMC for like some monster roars or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I would definitely not. I wouldn't say like the music is memorable or it's enjoyable or something you want to put on your, on your playlist or anything. But yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not. I didn't like it. Put it that way, which is a boring response, but it just came off as like middle of the road NES type of just a lot of bleeps and bloops and nothing great.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say those exact words. Pretty much, I was gonna say that there was nothing wrong with the music, but it was totally immemorable. It was just basically generic Nintendo music. There was nothing very iconic about it, nothing that stood out. Mm-hmm. It basically just served as filler. It's like the elevator music of the NES.
Yeah, I some of the music almost started getting better at the end of the game, but then you got to like level 6, which is like this giant like maze level, which is terrible. But
I played that too,
dude. It drops out the music, and all you get is just like. It's so annoying. It's supposed to be like it's like almost like this like sound that's like really horrible digital wind. It's so grating. It's awful. And you have to play a whole maze level where you don't know where to go and you're going in and out of a million doors to try to like randomly get to where you need to get to. And you have to listen to that horrible sound.
And the fireballs are falling in at you for no reason.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's like 45-degree angle comets coming down. So dumb.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to add about the sound effects, I think, or anything like that. I think the sound effects were pretty generic as well. There was nothing. The one thing to its credit that I can say is that there was nothing that seemed to me at least. I didn't play level 6, so but there was nothing that seemed out of place. It seemed like everything kind of worked. They were very generic selections. I think the focus really was more on the gameplay itself.
All right, let us proceed to category 3, which is game design. A reading from the manual. The game scrolls horizontally. While using the bat to destroy the monsters, move to the right. Along the way, there will be rooms where the boss monsters live. Enter these rooms to fight them. When all the boss monsters are defeated, you will get a key that will allow you to clear the round. A round cannot be completed until the key is obtained. When Mark defeats the monsters, various items will appear. He must get them by grabbing them. Attack and destroy the monsters by using Mark's bat to hit and return their photon lasers and other weapons. This is a reading from the manual. Praise be Bandai.
Super random to put on the photon lasers thing at the very end.
I know.
What? Yeah. I mean, because what that amounts to in the actual game is you're taking a bat to bubbles and snakes and cats.
Yeah. And isn't there a mummy bandages or something like that too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dude, I seriously.
Who shot photon lasers?
Yeah, there's no photon lasers. I don't remember that. And other weapons. Somebody was writing the manual to a different game for a moment there.
Maybe there were some pills involved.
Dude, but seriously, the other bosses, there really is a giant cat that spits out baby cats, and you have to whack them.
Yeah.
What?
And it makes a
but all of that aside, with the game design, I think Archbishop Dracul mentioned it earlier, and in our conversation, because we like to cheat and talk about the game out before we record, casually as we're playing it before the podcast. But I was saying how this I've been playing a lot of Souls games lately, and Souls Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
Who the hell do you think you are?
What do you mean, Archbishop?
What are you doing playing modern games? We're an NES podcast. We don't play modern games.
I just every once in a while I think it's nice to.
That's it. I'm gonna throw you in the Iron Maiden.
Not the Iron Maiden. No, Archbishop, no.
Maybe he'll learn his lesson not to fiddle with controllers with more than 2 buttons.
Well, anyway, but we all know the popularity of Souls games, right? They are talked about, probably, I would say, as of right now in 2025, they're probably discussed more than any other genre. And there's probably more clones and experiments and modifications thereof than pretty much any other genre out there right now. But this really kind of almost, I would say, is like the predecessor of that style of game. Which I was surprised to find. I wasn't expecting that when I popped open this game.
How so?
Well, in the sense that the focus is on boss fights. So you're basically going around, right? You have you're grinding hearts in order to defeat these bosses, which gives you keys to unlock other areas. And but there are some bosses that every boss has a different strategy, and that's the focus. And like each area has multiple bosses that you need to fight. And although there's no leveling system, right, like in most Souls games, there is this sort of grind where, if you die, whatever, you can start right back at the beginning of the level. You essentially, through the password system, you get infinite continues. So there's a lot of, I think, like fundamental, besides the leveling part, like I said, but I think there's just a fundamental game design idea that is comparable to the modern fad of Souls games, I would say.
What say you, Jeff Gabor?
Well, I mean, I was going to just mention some of the more smaller design stuff that really, just not really well polished. Specifically how the enemies were designed. So the enemies would basically be on a track. They would move left and right. Most of the enemies, I'd say probably 90%. And they would stay within that bounding box no matter what. So the strat basically became find the edge of their bounding box, wait there, and then pummel them. And rinse and repeat. So this idea that a Goomba or a Koopa shell or something that would eventually search you out or track you or have different patterns, they never broke from their left, right. So it was so easy to take advantage of. And then there was such an interesting, weird choice that at first when you're playing the game, you're thinking hearts and these pills, which are the only two real items, you'd think they're random. And they're not. They come out of the same enemies every single time. And since it's, an NES game where they didn't really keep track of the enemies, you just simply scroll the screen one direction a little bit and then go back, and you can then just kill the enemy again. Yeah. And then you can get hearts. And so, like you were saying, you grind these hearts, except for the choice that's like the developers were aware that you could do that because they put a cap on it. Yeah. So once you get a certain amount of hearts, that would be it for the entirety of the level. All other enemies that would drop a heart don't do it anymore.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Once there is the occasional question mark that drops that'll give you like a health boost, but it's rare.
Yep.
I didn't realize there was a cap on the hearts. Because I never grinded the hearts like to full health. I just kind of went and been like, okay, that's enough, and then go in there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's aggravating.
Yeah, that became my strategy for the whole game because basically your health carries over from level to level, and so I basically grind the first enemy I could like reasonably kill that with a consistency without getting hit. Grind them until they won't drop any more hearts, and then the rest of the level I would just avoid all combat. Because I know for a fact it's not going to drop a heart. It's not going to drop anything I want other than maybe a pill. And I'm curious to know if the pills actually do the same thing, where it's like they'll drop a certain amount and then stop. But I didn't bother with that. But that was it. It's like you could avoid the vast majority of the combat in the game once you kind of like found out, I got my hearts, and now I'm just going to damage boost through things that are frustrating, and then just not take any additional damage.
I think Archbishop also picked up on that cap limit, but didn't you think it worked differently?
No, that's exactly how I thought it worked.
Oh, okay. Because when we talked about it, I was under the impression that there was a cap on it, but it was based on how many hearts, like how much health you had, not how many hearts you had collected in that level. But I must have just misunderstood. But yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Yeah. Can we talk about the bat a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
The bat combat. The bat for one is too short, in my opinion. I think it could have been a third longer.
Oh my gosh. So you're so right about this. And just to plug another podcast that I do, which is a couple more minutes podcast, we just reviewed Panic Restaurant, which has a similar weapon, where you're using a giant spoon kind of as a bat. And that game feels amazing, where this one feels like complete garbo. And it's like, it's so interesting to see two different games trying to handle the exact same thing and how bad it can go. And this game certainly shows that off.
Yeah. And the other thing is that, like, I wish there was an attack mode while you were ducking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You have no attack when you duck.
Well, we haven't even talked about what it looks like when you duck.
It looks like you're humping the floor.
Yeah. You just turn into a slug where your butt goes up and down.
Well, I mean, granted, given that the fact that he was getting played on his hormones, by
Seriously.
birth,
Poor Mark.
Poor Mark.
The other thing that I wanted to say about the bat is that there were times where you needed to be precise with projectiles getting ricocheted back to where they're going.
Yeah.
And it had to be pixel perfect at times.
Oh my goodness.
It was aggravating. You had to be completely pixel perfect in the right spot and hit it just at the right time in order to get it to go to where you needed it to go.
Yeah. Well, I think
the boss that is the most egregious is the cat.
Yeah.
With that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I think what we have here is like, basically, I don't think they did any tolerance programming for the projectiles, meaning that they basically said, oh, this is the mechanic and the hitbox happens here, and if there's a collision, then we're gonna do the deflection, and that's just gonna be it. But they didn't add any tolerance programming, which is usually like a buffer around the target zone where you hit the target, or where you would hit the target if there would have been a collision, 2 frames from now or 2 frames before, then they'll still count it. And they do that a lot with platformers, like when you're running towards the edge of the platform, right? And you add this frame buffer where it's like, okay, well, if we were on the ground, this is just an example, if we were on the ground 2 frames ago, then we're going to still allow it to jump, right? Even if we're not on the ground right now. And that's tolerance programming in order to make the gameplay feel better.
Well, I mean, the idea that they had you swing a bat and it would, depending on, it's basically a baseball game. So if you swung early, it would go high. If you swung late, the projectile would go low.
Yeah.
But it's not a baseball game. Like, I don't even understand. It's like, why not just, where I want it to go. Just always make it go there. It was not fun, and it didn't add anything to the game. There's not other things on the screen that you are trying to get as well. So it becomes this technique that you're trying to perfect of making it go a certain angle. It just almost felt random. And yeah, and the frame window to get it in the right thing was so small.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Can we talk about just one last of the enemies?
Yeah.
The zombies. On stage 5, you enter one of the boss rooms, and it's just two zombies. And they just, I swear to God, they were like trying to do a rotoscope of like Thriller. Like they're trying to do the little boogie. And I was so confused what to do, because they don't move. They don't attack you. They don't shoot projectiles for you to shoot them back. You wail on them and they like dissolve into a pile of goo, and then they come back. And you can do that 50, 60, 70 times in a row. And it's like, you can't leave the room. So what am I had to look it up. I didn't know what to do.
You looked it up?
I had to look that up.
Wow.
You found out by yourself?
Yeah, because of what they said. Watch us dance. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch you dance then. After beating them like 150,000 times.
Wow. Yeah, and that you're right. That's the answer. You just watch them dance for literally 30 seconds, and then they let you go. Just don't do anything is the answer.
Can I say though, like all the things that we've been saying have been somewhat negative. This game is a creative force.
You're right. You're right.
It really is. Like there are things done in this game, characters done. There are characters created in this game that are an anomaly in the NES library.
Mm-hmm. There's actually quite a bit of gore, like bloody skulls and that kind of thing. And
like the first level.
Yeah,
you're running through the first level and suddenly, bang, the entire background changes.
Yeah. That freaked me out when I saw it. I was like, wait, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, I didn't know if I did something
really
wrong,
cool,
but it was kind of cool. And yeah, a lot of the enemies, they are big, giant graphic sprites, and I don't know, they were very creative. Bizarre.
I mean, there were some that weren't, but I mean, like the creativity was very high.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like really somebody was tripping, and they just put every sort of weird idea that came in their head during the trip into the game.
Yep, I'm telling you.
And I loved the little one-liners before each boss fight.
Oh, how about there's the giant tarantula.
Yeah, isn't it like I'm dead?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm dead.
Yeah, I did not understand that whatsoever.
It's just a joke. Yeah. Say sorry. Somebody already killed me.
Or don't pick on me, which was another strange one.
Well, maybe. I don't know. No, I'm not going to say that. That's freaking horrible. The one thing we didn't talk about was switching to the gargoyle.
Yeah, good point.
Yes.
And there were a few bosses that I felt like I couldn't beat until I did that. Like I needed to basically grind for the pill, and then I was like, okay, great, go in there and kick ass. And it worked, but I can't remember what that enemy was off the top of my head. There was one specific enemy where I felt like I needed to do that for.
I mean, I had the hardest time on level 1. That to me was the hardest level because I got to the little pumpkin guy shooting out stuff, and I was like, "What is this?"
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
I could not dodge any of the projectiles, and I didn't know about farming for hearts yet, and I was just getting obliterated. And I was like, "Screw this game!" Like I was about ready to shut it off, and then I was like, "All right, grind for hearts," and then exactly, you come in there with the gargoyle, and then you just wail on him, and it's over.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
For me, the gargoyle came in handy on the guy that says he can't feel his legs. The ghost that shoots ectoplasm in the Sphinx room.
Yeah.
Those one-liners are so like cryptic. Like they're just so cryptic. Like why? Like it really, like this whole game, like you said, is creative force and all this stuff. But I keep on coming back to the damn pills, and I'm like seriously, like everything, this entire game is, like you said in the beginning, Archbishop, it's an acid trip. And it's like, what is happening in this game?
It is. What you described, your version of the story, what you described is exactly an acid trip.
There is one boss where it's literally like a fried shrimp and a fried onion ring.
Yes, actually, that was. I enjoyed that enemy, that boss, the best. Actually,
like so delicious.
And he had a one-liner too, didn't he? The shrimp thing?
Yeah, I don't recall.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, what about the Minotaur? Did you get the Minotaur where he's literally just shooting cows at you for no reason? It's like he's walking around. He's got a giant axe. He does not use the axe. No weapons. He just shoots baby cows at you. What? And then you have to take your baseball bat and swing at the cows. Like, what? Wow. That is outside the box thinking.
I will say, some of the design behind the actual approach of fighting some of these bosses was really bad. Because there were times where it's like, okay, I gotta hit with the bat and I gotta hit their projectile back to them. Fine. Or I can hit them, I can duck, and then I can turn around and hit them again, and that's fine. Or I can hit them, jump over them, turn around, hit them, and that's fine. But there are bosses where you just have to take the hit. It's a battle of attrition.
Yep.
Like you just, there's no way around it.
Yeah.
And that consistency was missing. That consistency of like with the onion rings where you could duck and you wouldn't get hit.
Yep.
That didn't happen on every boss. So that was a little strange.
Yeah. It was poor design all over the place in terms of that.
Let us proceed to category 4, which is graphics. I thought the graphics were fantastic. I loved them.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like for all the weirdness and bizarreness, it all comes off as charming when you look at the graphics.
Yep.
Yeah. The sprites are huge, they're big, they're weird, they're all over the map, but they're all very identifiable. Like, you know exactly what everything is. You know that little Jason dude, there's a little witch that flies by. The cat is a weird looking cool cat. The enemies are really cool. The Grim Reaper enemy is so cool looking. The only sprite that really is kind of a bummer is just Mark, like your character.
Yes.
Everything else is really cool.
That's very true.
Yes. That is actually the one critique I was going to give was like, okay, yes, everything is great. Like when I first walked in and saw the spider and I was like, sorry, I'm dead. I was like, oh, you look terrifying. So I'm kind of glad you are, right? Everything was kind of like, very high. There's a high quality bar that was set. With all of that, but then you look at the main character, and it's like, man, you're a simpleton, like
yeah, so generic.
The gargoyle too, like the main character gargoyle too, like he was obviously had a little bit more detail than the main character, but still just it just paled in comparison to everything else. I thought,
yeah, it's like a different artist took that because it's so bad compared to everything else in the game.
Let us proceed to category 5, which is box art and presentation.
A reading from the back of the box. It's a scream! Walking home from a baseball game one evening, Mark gazed up at the misty sky. Suddenly, a blazing star plummeted to Earth with a blinding light. When Mark regained his sight, a mysterious creature was standing before him. The creature told an eerie tale about his home planet, the Dark World, where evil monsters were terrorizing the helpless population. He was searching the galaxy for a warrior capable of freeing them from their terrible plight. The creature explained that Mark's bat was the perfect weapon for defeating the evil monsters. Mark considered the creature's proposal for a minute, then agreed to undertake the dangerous mission. After all, he thought, it sure beats going to school.
Wow.
A reading from the back of the box.
Praise be
Bandai.
Bandai.
Oh my god. Yeah, I still can't get away from this narrative that I said earlier.
Yeah, it's a trip. The whole thing is a weird trip. It has to be.
Like, was Burr actually trying to, like, get him to attack his... Like, was he not going to the dark world, and was he actually, like, terrorizing his neighborhood? Like,
Can I just make a note here? We ridden the narrative to death. Can we just talk about the box art?
Yes. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So the box.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was gonna say the box art in terms of the actual look of it is pretty almost misleading because it comes off as this like 19 early I don't know 1930s 1940s like monster movie, almost like how Castlevania kind of was. It's it feels like it's got your Dracula and your Medusa and all that, and it feels very almost like fun.
Picture from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. It's definitely misleading, I would say. It's colorful and eye catching though.
Yeah, it's definitely something I would have looked at
for sure
back as a kid. But like this was one of those instances where I never saw this game in the stores.
Yep. Same.
Do you remember Jeff Gabor? How like
looking at the box. Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead. Sorry.
No, do you remember how there is with different games? It depended on the region whether or not you would actually get them in the stores.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is one of them that I never saw. Like, had I seen it, I probably would have wanted it.
For sure. Likewise.
Well, if I remember right, this game was only released in the United States.
Yep.
Just the United States?
I believe so. Yeah. It's it's already kind of exclusive. So I wonder if that made it so it was hard. But the cover art does look like reminiscent of something. Like maybe it was in Game Pro or Nintendo Power or something, but it definitely looks familiar. So I feel like it had some sort of marketing campaign, but I'd certainly never rented it and never played it.
So I love the artwork, the fonts, the formatting, pretty much the layout, pretty much everything, even the background of you get the cool like Halloween purple in the background of the white spider web that kind of cascades over the entire box, and it's very charming. It's very well put together. With one caveat to that was that they recycled the box art on the front to also take up maybe a quarter of the space on the back, and I thought that was kind of cheap. But everything else is just amazing about this box.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Presentation is everything, right? And the presentation, like I said, I just want to echo, very misleading. Because if they had taken this game and made it, an actual Halloween game, like on Halloween, trick or treat night, and you're dressed as a gargoyle, like that would have been, everything would have been different.
Dude, you're so right. That makes me wish they would have just gone that route, and almost the exact same gameplay would have actually made me really like the game that much more.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there would be no drugs. us proceed to category 6, which is fun factor. If I had to be brutally honest, I had fun playing this. There were, but like, there were points where I got frustrated, but that's like any game. So I did have fun playing this game, even with all its flaws.
Yeah, I have to admit, with everything we were talking about and how gameplay maybe it wasn't polished or the design wasn't this or that, I actually found myself really loving this game. Playing, at least. The fun factor really was. Like, once I knew you could grind and started playing the actual game with some sort of consistency and effort to be able to get to the other levels, I found it really fun.
Same here. Except I would say that the learning curve on level 1 I found to be a little bit of a grind, like to actually get through that first initial hump. So like I had fun initially and I was like, oh, this is cool, this is great. And then like just kept dying or trying to figure stuff out. And then I was like, oh man, it's such a freaking chore. I'm gonna keep going. Once you get over that hump, then you figure out the patterns, then the game becomes more about, discovering what's next rather than trying to, keep on hitting that wall,
Yeah, this is definitely a game. It's like the more you play it, the more fun you actually end up having on it. At first glance, when you play it, that first half hour playing it, I was like, this is some sort of crazy hell. Like, this game is just not good. And then by the time I finished the game, I was like, I quite like that game. I was like, oh man. Do you know the stage where you're like climbing and you're climbing and climbing and climbing these like staircases and going up, and I don't know how many different levels there are. I have to say, in terms of like the technical, I know. Sorry, I'm skipping over to technical. Son of a bitch. Anyway, I just to wrap it up, I had a glitch happen where I beat all the bosses and it would not give me the key.
Oh,
and then I went all the way up to the top, went all the way back down, went into every room. The bosses would not respawn. I could not get the key, and I had to take a death. God, that pissed me off. I'm like, because I did it. Friggin' did it, and I had to do it all over again.
Yeah, that's aggravating. That's aggravating.
Something's up with the game. It's just not. It's missing some polish in terms of that.
Actually, I think
technical.
Well, let's go on to controls and technical.
Sounds good.
Category 7.
Are you gonna say it, or are we here? Okay. No, I was gonna say you actually. Arch, I'd really like to, because this is just going to be a repeat of what you're going to say, Archbishop. So I'd like to hear what you have to say, because you're the one that brought this up initially. I think I know what you're going to say.
Controls and technical. I mean, for me, I actually mentioned the controls with the bat already. So I dipped into the controls a little early as well. I found it kind of difficult to get off of ladders when there's enemies around. That pissed me off. I don't know what you're alluding to, Father Avram.
The door that you couldn't get through.
Oh, yes. I beat level 2. I got the key. And I got to the end. And I'm standing there at the door. And nothing happened. And I'm like, what the hell? What am I supposed to do? So I'm running back and forth, trying to go into the door. But you got to push up at the door in order for it to register. And I almost died.
Yeah. So I hit that wall too. And also, I think it's in the same level you're talking about. But there's I can't remember if it's level 2 or 3 with the sewer pipes and stuff. was the ending door is like a pipe, and I thought that you could just walk into it.
That's the one that I was talking about.
Okay, yeah. And so it was like there's no, unlike the other doors in the game, there's no graphical change when you get the key. Like all the other doors, like they look unlocked or they brighten up or something happens. With the pipe just still stays the pipe, and so you kind of have to guess a little bit that's where you're supposed to go. It's just kind of a weird thing that was different than the rest of the levels.
Yep. Did you run into anything like that, Jeff Gabor?
No, I it was just that one issue with like it not registering a key, and then the rest of it really it really wasn't on the controls and the technical. It was just bad design. Everything else, but it ran smoothly. The character was easy enough to control. I didn't necessarily think it looked great all the time in the way you controlled, and I don't like the bat. But other than that, it was actually fine.
Yeah, I surprisingly didn't run into any flickering in this game, and I thought I would.
Yeah.
With all the projectiles and stuff, but...
And I think the discrepancy we were talking about with the door is actually falls under game design more than technical.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe. I think it's a gray area just because it falls into the controls of having to press up to get through the door. And I think with the final door, they didn't need to do that. Because as far as I know, there's no like special items you need to pick up. Like there's no reason why you would need to stay in the level. And so I think that having to press up to go through the last door was kind of unnecessary.
Let us proclaim the hints and cheats of our game.
So, the easy way to maneuver through different levels without remembering the actual password for each level is you type in 055 space, then the number 7, so to speak, or 8, or actually you can't do 8. That would take you after the space you put in a number and it'll take you to one level higher than that number. So that's an easy way to try out other levels and whatnot.
But that's like space typed out, right? Not space.
It's in the game. It's actually space, like it says space, but it takes up one unit in the password.
Okay, I get you.
Oh, I see. Okay. So when you have to select space.
Right, yeah.
Right.
But it's actually a space character. Yeah.
So Father Avram, given your technical prowess, do you think the fact that so you would type in space 7, but it would take you to level 8, and space 6 would take you to level 7? Do you think that's because their coding is based on like 0 being, it's like 0 based coding?
Well, all the stuff in the NES is 0 based. It has to be because it's just the way you're talking about.
Right.
The assembly language there. That's but the you have to put one more than what it actually is. So like I would expect that you would want to put one less than it actually is. So like level 1 should be like 055 space 0. But
I think that isn't that kind of what it is though? Like so if you put space 7, you put one less than the one you want to go to.
Oh,
so
I thought it was one more. It was one less?
Right, one less.
So the password is 3 sections of 3 numbers. What you end up using for this method is 5 digits. 5 spaces. Mm-hmm. The space counts as 1. So it's basically 055 null than the number.
But that number, is it one more or one less than the level you have?
It's one less. It's one less than the level.
Yeah, then that's probably why then, yeah. So you're right, Jeff Gabor, absolutely. That is That's definitely
So it's like
because
it's
zero
a
indexed.
byproduct of the assembly code. That's so
Yeah.
funny. I mean, it's super nerdy, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's just the way it is. The first
Oh,
element.
if you understand anything about Nintendo architecture,
that's me.
shut up already, Father Avram.
Don't put me in the Iron Maiden again. Yeah, I mean, it must have been some sort of trick of the memory addressing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of cool. I still wonder. I mean, I'm guessing they had this in here for development so they could test different levels. Seems plausible.
Yeah.
And now, brethren, let us offer each other the body of price. The body of price is where we discuss the game price then and now. According to an advertisement in Electronic Gaming Monthly, Monster Party was $44.99 in 1989. And adjusted for inflation, that would make the game $117.45 today.
That is pricey for that.
Oh, yes. But fortunately, if you want to acquire the game today, you pay a lot less than that.
Yeah.
So a loose copy, which is car only, it's $18.06. According to pricecharting.com, that's where we get all of our pricing information for today's pricing. Box only is $75, which is crazy, by the way. I don't know if we had a more expensive box in the history of the miNEStry reviews than this one, because I don't think we have.
We have to go back and take a look.
We would have to go back, but I am pretty sure that this is the most expensive one. $75 just for the box. I mean, the box art's amazing, so that's cool and everything, but wow, surprising. Manual only is $13.69, which seems to track with manuals of its ilk. And complete in-box, $103.10. So this is another example where this is actually an example where you're better off buying the complete in-box set than you are buying everything individually, which is actually rare. It's usually the other way around. Usually if you buy things, individually, then you actually save some money that way. But yeah. So, and go ahead. You were going to say, add something?
I was just going to add back into the idea. So if it's $18 now for the loose copy, adjusted for inflation the other way, that would mean you would be able to get a loose copy for it for $7 in 1989.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Nintendo games out there that's exactly what they cost right now, right? So that's interesting. But here's the whopping one. Brand new sealed copy in box, $401.25. I was not expecting this. But maybe this has to do with rarity.
Could be.
Yeah, probably so. Let us now execute judgment upon Monster Party and decide which of the 7 cardinal sins it has committed. Father Avram, in regards to narrative, what is your final judgment?
In regards to narrative, Monster Party has committed a most heinous cardinal sin.
Deacon Gabor, in regards to narrative, what is your final judgment?
In regards to narrative, Monster Party has committed no fault.
In regards to narrative and in the presence of this assembly, Monster Party has been spared.
Wow, guys. Wow. That's a shit switch right there.
There's a lot worse on the NES.
That's true.
Father Avram, in regards to audio, what is your final judgment?
In regards to audio, Monster Party has committed no fault.
Deacon Gabor, in regards to audio, what is your final judgment?
In regards to audio, Monster Party has committed a most heinous cardinal sin. Listen to that level with the whistling. That alone, go to hell.
In regards to audio and in the presence of this assembly, Monster Party has been spared.
Whoa.
One we can all agree on. Father Avram, in regards to game design, what is your final judgment?
In regards to game design, Monster Party has committed a most heinous cardinal sin.
Deacon Gabor, in regards to game design, what is your final judgment?
In regards to game design, Monster Party has committed a most heinous cardinal sin.
In regards to game design and in the presence of this assembly, Monster Party has committed a loathsome cardinal sin deserving of hellfire and damnation.
1.
Father Avram, in regards to graphics, what is your final judgment?
In regards to graphics, Monster Party has committed no fault.
Deacon Gabor, in regards to graphics, what is your final judgment?
In regards to graphics, Monster Party has committed no fault.
In regards to graphics and in the presence of this assembly, Monster Party has been spared. Father Avram, in regards to box art and presentation, what is your final judgment?
In regards to box art and presentation, Monster Party has committed no fault.
Deacon Gabor, in regards to box art and presentation, what is your final judgment?
In regards to box art and presentation, Monster Party has committed no fault.
In regards to box art and presentation and in the presence of this assembly, Monster Party has been spared. Father Avram, in regards to fun factor, what is your final judgment?
In regards to fun factor, Monster Party has committed no fault.
Deacon Gabor, in regards to fun factor, what is your final judgment?
In regards to fun factor, Monster Party has committed no fault.
In regards to fun factor in the presence of this assembly, Monster Party has been spared. Father Avram, in regards to technical and controls, what is your final judgment?
In regards to technical and controls, Monster Party has committed a most heinous cardinal sin.
Deacon Gabor, in regards to technical and controls, what is your final judgment?
In regards to technical and controls, Monster Party has committed a most heinous cardinal sin.
In regards to technical and controls and in the presence of this assembly, Monster Party has committed a loathsome cardinal sin deserving of hellfire and damnation.
2.
Monster Party, by the authority vested in me, we redeem you of any faults which you have committed, and hereby revere you as a jewel in the crown of the Nintendo Entertainment System. This concludes tonight's service. Remember, our liturgy does not simply come to an end. Those assembled are sent forth to bring the fruits of the ministry to the world.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.